Historic trial starts tomorrow in Cleveland, and it could have wide-ranging impact on how the rest of the country deals with the opioid crisis. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Carlos. Cuyahoga and Summit counties are suing drug makers, claiming they're responsible for the opioid epidemic. News 5's Emily Hamilton spoke with grieving families and a legal expert about this landmark case. She's live at the federal courthouse tonight with a look at tomorrow's trial. Emily?
Tracy, more than 400,000 Americans have died of opioid overdose, and millions more know someone affected. And now a jury of Northeast Ohioans will decide if drug makers and distributors should take responsibility for what's being called the worst drug crisis in U.S. history. The families of victims from the opioid crisis that has ravaged parts of the U.S. will finally have their day in court.
So in this case, probably because Cleveland was so geographically connected to some of the hardest hit areas in the opioid crisis, they selected the Northern District of Ohio, which is where Cleveland is, and assigned it to Judge Polster.
Andrew Paulus, a civil litigation attorney, cautions too much blame against Big Pharma. Rather, a lack of governmental oversight is to blame for the millions of families feeling the effects of the opioid epidemic.
This is a crisis that is a result of complete failure of the legislative and executive branches of government. Had they been doing their jobs, then there would be no way that even the conduct that the defendants are alleged to have engaged in could have ended up causing this kind of a crisis.
Brenda Ryan agrees. She says her daughter Sheena died of a heroin overdose after being prescribed opioids following a routine surgical procedure.
She, sought out more doctors and doctor shop to be able to get more oxys, and eventually turned her opioid addiction to heroin.
Cindy DeMaio's daughter was only 17 years old when she overdosed after experimenting with the prescription medications with friends.
I found her. It was the middle of the night, and she was in the middle of an overdose. And I tried to give her CPR. We'd called 911, and she actually came back and looked me in the eyes. And she just died.
Purdue Pharma, best known for making OxyContin, is named in the lawsuit and recently filed for bankruptcy after pleading guilty to misleading doctors and patients about the drug and paid $635 million in penalties. Paulus says cases like this one, where a large number of similar lawsuits are combined to create a multi-district litigation, are designed to set the tone for future trials.
No amount of money can ever replace a human being. And we're not dealing here with one human being, we're dealing with so many and all of the collateral damage to families.
That trial gets underway tomorrow in Judge Polster's court here at the federal courthouse, and if no settlement is reached, each side will have 100 hours to present its case. Reporting live from downtown Cleveland tonight, Emily Hamilton, News 5.